Welcome to the Maritime Administration's Federal Reimbursement Tutorial Series. The following section will help in filling out the Standard Form 270, Request for Advance or Reimbursement. When it's time to request a reimbursement against your Federal Assistance Award, you will need to complete the Standard Form 270, which is titled Request for Advance or Reimbursement. The SF-270 is a government-issued document designed to certify your request and quantify the financial expenses of your project. This form will capture the information needed to properly itemize all costs associated with your project, including federal and non-federal amounts. The form is set up into 13 parts in 2 pages. This is the first page of the SF-270, which we will explain in greater detail in the following slides. Boxes 1 through 10 are on the first page of the form and identify the pertinent information regarding the federal award and the authorized awardee. Box 1A is requesting whether this will be an advance or reimbursement. The capital grants that MARAD administer are for reimbursement only. Please check reimbursement. Box 1B is to determine whether this is a request for an interim partial reimbursement or if the project is complete and you are requesting the final reimbursement. Please select whichever applies. Box 2 is requesting the basis of the request. MARAD projects are all reimbursement requests, so we ask that you enter cash for the basis of request. Box 3 is requesting the name of the sponsoring federal agency. Please enter the Maritime Administration here. Box 4. This is where you will enter your grant number. This can be found on your grant agreement. Please enter the federal grant number here. Box 5. This is asking for the sequential number of this request. Enter the sequential number of this reimbursement request. Typically, our awardees would start with the number 1 and count up in numerical sequence. Box 6. Please enter the employer identification number assigned by the U.S. Internal Revenue Service, or the FICA institution code, if requested by the Maritime Administration. Box 7. This number is a unique identifier that is assigned by the awarding agency to identify the federal award. It is called the Financial Assistance Identification Number. This number will be listed in your grant agreement, and MARAD often uses the assigned grant number. Please enter this number. Box 8. These dates will be the start and end date of the period you are reporting. Please make sure that the expenses you are submitting fall within these dates. Box 9. This is for the name and address of the organization which was awarded the grant. Box 10. This is the address of the payee, if different from the organizational information. The information on this page, with a few exceptions, will remain constant through the reimbursement process. Our recipients have found it easier to keep a template of the standard form with this information pre-populated, so that they only need to change a few of the boxes for each submission. The second page of the SF-270 encapsulates the computations of your request. This is where you'll find parts 11 through 13. These boxes itemize the expended totals and request certification. When filling in these boxes, please ensure to use exact amounts in dollars and cents, and that these figures are not rounded up or down. Section 11D, J, and Box 12 are only used for advances and therefore left blank. Box 11 is separated into 11 lines. Each line has a unique purpose towards quantifying the total costs of your project. It is also divided into 4 vertical columns, A, B, C, and the total column. Columns A, B, and C are for up to 3 separate projects, which may need to be tallied separately because they may have their own contractor budget. If this is the case, please use these columns. If additional columns are needed, please use as many additional forms as needed. However, the summary of your totals of all programs, functions, or activities should be shown in the total column on the first page. The top line of this Part 11 identifies the name of each project or budget that is placed in columns A through C. Line A is for the total outlays to date for the project or series of projects. Be sure to enter program outlays to date for all columns if there are multiple project components. This amount should be net of refunds, rebates, and discounts. Line B is to enter any program income. This is a rare entry for most of the MARAD grants and is usually left blank. If, however, it pertains to your project, please enter this amount. Line C is the total of lines A minus B. Line D, as mentioned earlier, is a number regarding advances. Since this is a reimbursable agreement, please leave this line blank. Line E is the sum of lines C and D. Line F is the total amount of the non-federal share of the outlays to date. Line G is the total federal share of the outlays to date. Line H is the amount of the federal payments which were previously requested. Line I is the total of the federal amount that is being requested in this reimbursement request. It is the sum of line G minus line H. Make sure that the entries in columns A through C are totaled in the far right total column. Once you have verified that the numbers are accurate, you can proceed to Part 13 and certify that the information is correct. Sign and date the form. MARAD requires a physical signature on this form and a scanned copy of the SF-270 submitted with the backup documentation for reimbursement. We hope this tutorial has provided enough helpful information to streamline this task. Thank you for watching.